Let's see. Okay. Hi. It's so nice to meet you. Yeah, my name is Stacy. Yeah, feel free to take a seat. You're our new hire, I presume. Lovely. Well, I'd love to show you how we do our check-ins for books. Specifically cataloging our books, and in this case I do have a group of books here that are donated and need to be entered into the system. Yeah. So I can just go through and detail out the process and kind of show you the examples as I go. And then after our session, I'll have you try it out on your own. How does that sound? Okay, perfect. Okay, and you got your name badge and everything okay? Yeah, okay, great. I'm glad that was taken care of. Alright, so first I have the group of books here that have been donated that need to be checked in, okay? So I'm going to just pull up our new books category here in the system and just make sure we start the process there. Yeah, it's going to be under new books category, yeah. Oh no, go right ahead. Feel free to take notes as I go along for you to reference back to, okay? Yeah, and of course, you are welcome to ask any questions. Okay, so first, we have a book here, Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of the House of Usher and Other Tales. You know, what's interesting is there is a recent show or movie, I think, of The Fall of the House of Usher. It makes me want to reread this then to brush up on it. Yes. The Fall of the House of Usher, Poe's tour de force about a family doomed by a grim bloodline curse. That sounds eerie. Yeah. So this edition looks fairly new. Let's go ahead and see. It looks like it was produced in here. It says in around 1998. But the cover could be even more recent than that, to be honest. So let's go ahead and type that in. Now these books are going to need some labeling and protective covers, which goes next door, and I'll show you that process maybe later this week, just because there's a lot to cover. But these will be moved into the next room. Okay, perfect. So I've typed that in. It's going to generate codes and, you know, the barcode and everything like that when we take it next door, but this is kind of initially getting it in. Okay. Alright, let me just grab. I think I just need post-its for now. I'm going to just mark a post-it on the book. And I'm going to write down the number generated. 8. Okay. And this is just a good reference, just to make sure, especially with classic books, we get a lot of copies in different editions, so it's nice to make sure we're double checking our work. Okay, so put that there. Alright, so this next book looks like it has some beloved post-its, possibly from school. This is Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte. I know so many people love Jane Eyre, but you know, personally, I have a little bit of conflicting views on it. Nothing controversial or anything like that, but I do feel like it's just interesting. I don't know, I just didn't really gravitate to it in a way that a lot of other people did, but to each their own. Everyone has their favorites, right? So we'll definitely need to clean this book up a little bit, and it looks a little worn down on the binding, so we might need a protective cover and all that. So let me go ahead and type that in. Okay, so put in the number. Okay, that's good. And the next book, oh, The Count of Monte Cristo. This is such a great book. I think it's one of those that I truly was, I guess, captured by. I feel like a lot of classic books can feel a little hard to get into, but just the overall transformation of the character and the just the story is so, I don't know, it's just so much. The thirst for vengeance is truly, I don't know, I almost feel like it's a thriller in its own way. So definitely a great book in my personal opinion. I do see some written notes in here though, so I'm not sure about this one. We might be able to remove it, but I may need to keep a note that it might need to go for our used book shop. So let me just but I will mark it nevertheless, just in case. Alright, so that one's good to go. Next we have The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli. It is better to be feared than to be loved, right? Very interesting takes. There seems to be some markings and of course some post-its here, so we'll need to clean that up. Okay, so right, and I'm just gonna take my post-it. That. Next up we have Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, a classic. This one looks very clean, nothing written at all. Just checking. Yeah, we want to make sure we check the books. I'll have to remove this label, but otherwise it looks pretty in good condition, so I don't fear that we need to skip that in our collection. this next book here, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories. This looks very pristine, so I think we should be in good shape to keep this one as well. Let's see. Go ahead and just put that number. Okay. Here we have Dante Alighieri, The Inferno. Dante's Inferno. This was something I also couldn't really stand to read. But I think it's because it is kind of like a dense poem. A lot of symbolism, of course, and yeah, interesting stuff. If you are interested in that kind of thing, but for me, I didn't find it to be a great fit. Okay, we should probably type that in first. Make sure. I think we do have a couple copies of these already. I didn't see any marginal notes, but we can make sure we. Let's see. 5, 2, 4, 1. Okay. That's good to go. And then our last book that was donated is Shakespeare's Use of Learning. So, I don't know about this one. I might need to check with our senior librarian there. Looks pretty old, and I'm not sure we may ever get it checked out. Okay. But who's to say? Now I'm going to go ahead and put these books aside so we can focus on our cataloging of other books. Okay, sounds good. Alright, so I'm just going to grab our cards. And those will be useful. Also our stamp. Okay. Alright. So this here. I have a stack of books here that we're going to catalog here. So looks like we have the Six Gun Tarot. Good, the binding's good. Okay. So everything looks good there. So just go ahead and write the author name. And title. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the date. Okay. And that will stay there. Okay. I'm also going to pull it up. Okay. Alright, so that's the process. Very So that's just what we do over and over. Of course, if someone comes up to us, this is the quiet tenant. This looks interesting. A pulse-pounding psychological thriller. Interesting. Okay. This is by Comments. It's an interesting name. And quiet tenant. There we go. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Yeah, as soon as you get the hang of cataloging, you can truly listen to podcasts, watch YouTube while you do it in the back. You know, it's really not too strict around here. The Mortalists. Interesting. Yeah, we get quite a few new books, which is really great. Chloe Benjamin. Okay. Okay, Chloe Benjamin. Right, and the Mortals. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. All right. Today's your actual first day. Oh my goodness. I'm sure there's a lot you're still processing. A Most Intriguing Lady. That's this book, a novel of the Victorian era. Yeah. What kind of books do you really enjoy? Oh, that's lovely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that as well. Yeah. Okay. And this actually looks fine as well, but let's do that. Okay. Alright. All done. Well, speaking of books that I might enjoy, I actually really love Ray Carson as an author, and this is one of her books. It's called Walk on Earth, a Stranger. Yeah, I can read it to you a bit. It says Lee Westfall has a strong, loving family. She has a home she loves and a loyal steed. She has a best friend who might want to be something more. She also has a secret. Lee can sense gold in the world around her. veins deep in the earth, small nuggets in a stream, even gold dust caught underneath a fingernail. She has kept her family safe and able to buy provisions even through the harshest winters. But what would someone do to control a girl with that kind of power? A person might murder for it. When everything Lee holds dear is ripped away, she flees west to California, where gold has just been discovered. Perhaps this will be the one place a magical girl can be herself, if she survives the journey. It's a trilogy set in the Gold Rush era of America, about a young woman with a powerful and dangerous gift. And you may not think that that seems very interesting. I didn't at first. I was like, the Gold Rush, I don't know. I liked Little House on the Prairie growing up, but I feel like the pioneer type stories really ended there for me a lot of the time, and I wasn't really into like westerns. However, this book is like magic, so that is what intrigued me, the fantasy aspect. And let me tell you, Ray Carson just blows it out of the water with character development. You truly feel connected to the characters and who they are, especially the main character. She's so likable. I think it's really often the case we get a lot of main characters that are just super out there and you just feel unrelatable to them, like it's hard to connect. But this main character, even though there's like a magical element to her, there's a relatableness there, and it's just noticeable. And every character really in this book has a very unique personality that they just feel like they live in real life. So I highly recommend this trilogy. I still think about it to this day, to be honest. Yeah. I feel like that's a sign where a book can't really leave your thoughts over time. That's probably a sign you should buy it, because one day, you never know, you may not be able to find it again. So it's good to have a copy of your own. Okay. There we go. And strange. Alright, next we have, looks like a classic, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This one has like a very unique cover as well. Just got like interesting, it kind of looks like icebergs, or maybe it looks like a house that's in disarray. It's interesting. Frankenstein was always one of those books that, yeah, just was like sad but enthralling at the same time. Okay. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein. I think they're coming out with a new Frankenstein movie or something like that. Like they're filming a new one. I could be mistaken. Okay. And we will okay. That's all done. Next we have Bitter Blue. I don't think I've read this before, but it looks interesting. Yeah, it's a very thick book as well. I think it's just kind of, oh no, yeah, it's like 500 pages. That's quite a bit. The fantasy YA books tend This one looks a little worn, but I think it's passable for now. And I'll just put that in now so I don't forget. Okay. And then we have here, I have some questions for you by Rebecca Mackay. Okay. This one. Looks brand new, so nothing of concern at the moment. So, okay, and Rebecca Mackay. Okay, so put that in. Alright, so that takes care of this book and this stack of books. I'm just gonna grab the next stack, okay? Okay. We have our next stack of books here. How are you tracking with everything so far, though? Okay, it's pretty to the point, and you'll catch on to all the little stuff as well very, very soon. We have here Lady Chatterley's Lover in this bright red design. And I did try and see the movie. I didn't really finish it though. I think it's like on Netflix or something, I don't know. But I haven't read the book before, personally. It's an interesting tale. I feel like one that's been told quite often, sort of these times. Okay. Yeah, it looks to be in okay condition. This one even comes with a bookmark, which doesn't often happen. So, that's good. Okay, so next we have Sky Without Stars, which is a kind of retelling of Les Mis, with just like different perspectives of the characters, and it's based in like a sci-fi futuristic world. So it's kind of like you can track a little bit with it, but also very different, of course. Let's get the card. Okay. Let's see. Author's names. Jessica Clooney. I believe this is a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check. Okay. Right. Okay. There's that book. And our next book, What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. Oh my. This is like a a whodunit. Okay. Alice Marshall. What lies in the wood? Okay. I'm always like wanting to throw it in the pile. Need to remember to type it in, you know? Okay, here we go. Alright, almost done here. How to sell a haunted house. Well, I would be very intrigued by this. I wonder if it's at least somewhat comedic. Maybe not. Grady Hendrix. Their pictures. Oh, it's like chapters. Okay. So Grady Hendrix. How to sell haunted house. Okay. Do the stamp. Yeah, no, this is a horror book apparently. Says when Louise finds out that her parents have died, she dreads going home. She doesn't want to leave her daughter with her ex and fly to Charleston. She doesn't want to deal with her family home, stuffed to the rafters with the remnants of her father's academic career and her mother's lifelong obsession with puppets and dolls. She doesn't want to learn how to live without the two people who knew and loved her best in the world. Most of all, she doesn't want to deal with her brother Mark, who never left their hometown, gets fired from one job after another, and resents her success. Unfortunately, she'll need his help to get the house ready for sale, because it'll take more than some new paint on the walls and clearing out a lifetime of memories to get this place on the market. But some houses don't want to be sold, and Louise and Mark's home has other plans for them. Well, that's intriguing and slightly terrifying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's all good to go. And then finally we have All Good People here. Okay. Looks like it might be another thriller of some kind. Okay. Okay, that's our last book. How are you feeling so far? Okay, then I would love to go ahead and get another stack, and this one I'm going to let you go ahead and try, okay? Yes, I think that would be best to help you get really acquainted with our systems. And I can help walk you through anything, I promise. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and put these books away. And how about we go ahead and get started on your stack of books? Wonderful. Okay. I'll go ahead. Put this all away. And back here in about